As a young man on self-improvement, you have the world at your feet. It is quite literally your oyster. You can be anything you want. And if you've been on self-improvement for long enough, or if you've even had the mentality to get onto self-improvement, you probably already know this. And that's why it's time to take yourself seriously. You need to start viewing the world through the lens of the man that you picture yourself to be, right? View the lens of the version of you that has come of age. Now, when I say come of age, what do I mean? What do I mean by this? I made a whole video about speaking about coming of age and what I mean by this, but I'm going to go through this again because I find it so inspiring, right? But it's basically when you grow into who you were meant to be, or you go to the next level, or you fulfill your potential, right? Picture like athletes. I think athletes, again, like I always speak about sports. I think athletes are like the best illustration of this because we all love sports. We all love some element of sports, right? It's like you picture that young athlete that's coming, he's got all this potential and everything, but he's still raw, right? He still needs to adapt to the league. He needs to put on maybe a stronger frame. He needs to be more consistent. He needs to sharpen his skill or whatever it is, right? And it's difficult. Like for a lot of people that have potential, like very few people actually hit their potential, especially if they seem to have like a lot of potential, right? But when they do, it's so special. It's so sweet, right? Like they come from being like that youngster with like old, who like he have the skills and everything, and he's scrawny, he's still raw and everything, to becoming like the person who's leading the team. Like he's winning like Champions Leagues for the team and everything, right? Like it's insane, right? Or you picture like Suits, the show about lawyers or whatever, and like Mike comes in as like the apprentice, right? He's new, he knows stuff, but he doesn't know about like the world of lawyering, and he's working under like Harvey Specter. Like Harvey sees like his potential and everything, right? And then by the time like season 3, season 4 comes around, like he's gone from this like child looking guy, right? Like he's very like, he's not very timid, like he's still quite confident and everything, but he doesn't have like the experience of dealing with like the high level bosses and everything. His suits aren't nice, they don't even fit well, and whatever it is, like he's raw. But by the time season 3 or season 4 comes around, like he's like Harvey's like working side by side with him, like he's fulfilling his potential, like he is winning case, like he's being like a Harvey as well. Like his suits, like even just looking at his suits, like his suits fit perfectly. They like Harvey's suits, and it even gets to a point where he's mocking Harvey for his suits, because like just things like that. Like I think that's beautiful, like seeing someone like come off age, like really fulfill their potential, right? And another example I want to use about taking yourself seriously, or viewing yourself through the lens of someone you would take seriously, is just picture like being a father, right? Like when you're a father, like the way you see life is just very different, right? And I can use like an example that I had for myself, right? That happened like, it was actually like 6-7 weeks ago, right? Like I was stressing about something because I needed to go to SARS, right? Our revenue service, and like sign up for tax. Basically, I needed to do that, and I was stressing about something else that happened. Like the landlord was gonna come in, and whatever. Like I was stressed about those things, and they were stressing me. And I just thought to myself, like, bro, if I'm like a dad, right? This is just an average Tuesday, right? It's an average Tuesday. Oh, the shower head broke, or like the shelf broke. Like you need to go and like get it fixed. Like you need to get that fixed somehow, right? Or and oh, you need to go apply for this. You need to apply for this visa for one of your kids or whatever. It's just an average Tuesday at that point. Like it's something that needs to be done. You can't be lying in bed busy stressing about it, putting it off and everything. It needs to be done, right? So I remember on that Tuesday, it was actually a Tuesday, which is funny. I was like, bro, if I'm a dad, this is an average Tuesday. So I was just like, okay, I need to take Thursday morning to go to SARS and sign up. And then the other thing we just sorted out. Like it's yeah, like view yourself through the lens of someone you want to be. Like I was like, bro, if I'm a dad, this is like work. Like this needs to be done, and I just did it, right? And it made me feel better. Like just when I thought about it that way. And I think that's just something you need to be doing. Like take yourself seriously. Like really view yourself through the lens of someone you would take seriously. And I think viewing yourself through the lens of like being a father is definitely one thing, because you don't have time to be sitting around whining and stuff, right? Like things need to be done. Like, bro, your wife and kids are like relying on you. If you don't do anything, like they're gonna suffer for it, right? Their lives are gonna be harder, and you just can't have that, right? So I think that's definitely a good way of looking through things, like as a father. And yeah, you also need to take your time seriously, because it's kind of all you have right now as a young man. I've spoken lots of times about how we basically, like, we're raw. We've got nothing. Like, we haven't earned anything. We haven't, like, the real things that you earn in life, like wealth and whatever. Like, we haven't earned any of that because, well, we haven't been on the earth long enough. Technically, if you were like Imad Ghazi, you started working at 14 or whatever, and you're like, you were special, like, you could do it. But for most of us, no. Like, we haven't been on here long enough. We haven't gained any real skills, like, to the level that we need, right, to be taken seriously. So it's like all we have right now is like time. And one thing I definitely encourage you to do is that, like, write out a list of your priorities. Like, what do you want in your life? Like, picture your dream life. Like, what do you want? And I always say this, it's like a simple step to, like, figuring out, like, your purpose, or giving yourself a routine that becomes your purpose in the meanwhile, while you find, like, your bigger purpose, right? But basically picture, what kind of life do you want, right? Like, who do you want to be in your life? What do you want to be doing on the day to day? What hobbies are you going to be doing? Like, what things are you going to be doing for fun? What's your day-to-day life going to be like? Like, just picture that. Like, that's maybe something you already know about, or you need to sit down and, like, do an exercise and just, like, visualize, right? But you picture your dream life. You write out the goals you need to achieve that dream life, and then you link it to the inputs, right? You link it to, like, the things you need to actually do. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm going to be, like, in shape. I'm going to be doing this. I want to be like a father who's, like, running around with his kids. So I need to be in shape at, like, 40, 50. What do I need to do that? Oh, I need to achieve a certain physique and maintain it. What do I need to do to achieve that certain physique? There come your inputs. Your inputs is, I need to eat clean. I need to go to the gym consistently, whatever it is. And you do that for everything. You have for business and everything. You do that, and you set a routine based on that, right? And then that routine is what you follow. Right, like, that's something you should be following, basically, to get to your dream life. You've got sort of a clean path. Well, ideally, obviously, life gets different, but yeah, you have that. But once you do that, you realize that to achieve all these goals that you want to achieve, you don't really have time to be wasting, to be faffing about, to be wasting on nonsense. Like, you need to be really focused. And you can picture someone like Tommy Shelby or like James Bond, right? Like, they don't waste time doing stupid things, like, on nonsense. Their lives are fully focused on achieving their goals and their ambition, and everything else just, like, revolves around that. And maybe they might take some time to, like, relax or whatever it is, but it's not like the daily routine. They're, like, busy scrolling through their phone or whatever it is, right? Like, wasting time faffing about. Like, they don't have time for that. And that's something you will realize when you get on, like, your purpose of following your routine. And just another thing I want to speak about briefly, which I think I need to make a whole other video about, but it's about, like, dressing seriously, right? Like, if you want to take yourself seriously, like, you need to, like, dress like a man. Stop dressing like a man child. I know I say this as I'm wearing, like, a hoodie and stuff, but, you know, it's the morning. It's the morning. I'm about to go out and play, like, some sports and stuff, so I'm wearing, like, casual clothes. But don't be dressing around, like, wearing Jordans and hoodies and stuff. Stop dressing like a kid. Like, rappers, like, wearing all this colorful stuff. Like, dress like a flipping man. Like, take yourself seriously, especially if you've got, like, a job. Like, obviously, if you're in corporate, like, you probably still need to wear, like a shirt and whatever, but, like, wear, like, a suit. Wear a proper suit, a nice fitting suit, and just take yourself seriously. Like, that's part of that. And it's something, like, I learned this from Kevin Samuels. It's something like I said, I'm going to make a whole other video on, but, like, you need to take yourself seriously when you, like, the way you dress. People judge you on the way you look, and the way you dress is a big part of that. People are like, oh, why do I need to wear suits and everything? But it's like, bro, when that, like, CEO comes in, or, like, okay, let's talk about, like, a firm or whatever, when the partner walks in, like, they need someone to, like, represent the firm, to go speak to the client. Like, no one can go there, and they need to pick, like, a new trainee or whatever it is to send there. They picking the guy in the suit. Like, it's just a subconscious thing. Like, if you're just that guy in the suit. And also, I can speak about how it affects your mentality, because now it's like, oh, I'm wearing a suit. Like, I see myself better, right? Like, I see myself as a high level person, and now I need to perform to sort of match that, right? Like, I need to earn the suit, right? That's one thing. But also just the way people treat you in general. Like, if you wear suits and you just dress well or whatever, people take you more seriously. And I think that's another step to taking yourself seriously. But you guys can let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this topic. Make sure you subscribe to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood, and until next time, see you boys.